The animal sleeping in your home right now has a picture of you in its mind. It just isn't the one you'd expect. Because whatever your dog or your cat thinks you are, there's almost no chance it's a human. So what are you exactly inside the mind of the creature that knows you best? Not a person, something else. And the answer is stranger and a little more humbling than most people ever stop to consider. Start with a hard truth from a German biologist named Jakob von Uexküll, working over a century ago. He argued that every animal lives sealed inside its own private sensory world. He called it the umwelt, a world built entirely out of the signals that particular creature can detect and nothing else. And the unsettling consequence is this: there is no single version of you. There are as many versions of you as there are kinds of senses pointed in your direction. To your dog, you are mostly a scent and a voice, your face a distant third. To a mosquito, you are a plume of warm carbon dioxide drifting across a dark room. To a tick, you barely exist as a shape at all. You are heat and the smell of butyric acid on skin and nothing more. None of them is seeing the you that you see in the mirror. They can't. That you was never the real one. It was just the one your own senses happened to build. So the question, what do animals think we are, doesn't have an answer. It has thousands, but the ones we actually lie awake wondering about are the two sleeping in our houses. So let's take them one at a time. Start with the dog and kill a myth first. For decades, people were told the dog sees you as the leader of its pack, the alpha, that you have to dominate it the way a wolf dominates the wolf below it. The anthrozoologist John Bradshaw spent a career showing this is simply wrong. Dogs don't run their lives on wolf pack politics, and they very clearly do not think you are another dog. The proof is in how they behave. The instant a dog sees a human, it changes. The way a dog plays with you is nothing like the way it plays with another dog. It files you immediately and permanently into a separate category. The question is, which one? The best clue we have comes from a study run in 1998 by a researcher named Josef Topol and his team, who borrowed a famous test from child psychology. It's called the strange situation, and it was originally built to measure how human babies are attached to their parents. You put the pair in an unfamiliar room. The parent leaves. A stranger comes in. The parent returns. And you watch. The dogs behaved almost exactly like the babies. With their owner in the room, they explored and played confidently, using the person as what psychologists call a secure base. When the owner left, they deflated, grew anxious, stopped playing. When the owner came back, they lit up. A stranger could not replace the owner, not even a kind one. That pattern, the secure base, the safe haven, the distress and the relief, is the signature of a specific kind of bond, the bond between a child and a parent. And it's no accident we spent thousands of years breeding dogs to keep the soft faces and big eyes of puppies into adulthood, to trigger the same protective ache in us that a baby does. So when you ask what a dog thinks you are, the closest honest answer science can give is this: not a packmate, not a master, something much more like a parent. Now the cat, and here it gets strange. Bradshaw studied cats the same way and reached a conclusion that quietly rearranges how you'll look at the one on your couch. Cats, unlike dogs, do not seem to have a separate box for us at all. Watch what a cat does to you. It walks up with its tail straight in the air. It rubs along your legs. It grooms you, kneads you, sits beside you, and falls asleep. Every one of those behaviors is something cats do to other cats. There's no special set of moves reserved for humans, the way there is with dogs. As far as anyone can tell, your cat is treating you exactly the way it would treat another cat. The popular version of this is cats think we're big dumb cats. Bradshaw is careful to push back on the dumb part, but the core idea holds. Your cat may not understand that you're a different kind of animal at all. It just seems to think you're an enormous, oddly shaped cat who is strangely bad at hunting and weirdly generous with food. And there's a detail that makes this almost touching. adult cats barely meow at each other. The meow is something the domestic cat developed mostly to talk to us because we turned out to be too oblivious to read the subtler signals cats use among themselves. Your cat essentially invented a word just for you. It had to. It decided you were a fellow cat too dim to understand anything else. Then there's the idea no scientist can test, but that's hard to shake once you've heard it. Think about what you look like from the floor. Food appears from nowhere because you will it. Walls open when you touch them. Light floods the room and vanishes at your command. You disappear through a door and materialize hours later. To a mind that knows nothing of electricity or supermarkets or jobs, you are an immense, unpredictable power that controls food, weather, and the very fabric of the day. People have only half joked that to a dog, you might be something close to a god. There's no way to prove it, but from where they're standing, it isn't an unreasonable mistake. Step outside the house and it flips entirely. To most wild animals, you are the single most dangerous thing they will ever encounter. The apex predator, the shape to flee on sight. But even out there, some animals see you as more than a category. Crows can learn and remember individual human faces, hold a grudge against a specific one for years, and teach other crows to recognize the face of someone who once wronged them. To a crow, you might not be a human at all. You might be one particular remembered face, filed under friend or filed under threat. But here's the turn that undoes the whole question. To ask what an animal thinks we are assumes it sorts the world into labels and categories the way we do, with nouns and names. It may not. What you are to an animal might not be a what at all. To your dog, you may not be a thing it has a word for. You may be a feeling, the source, the center, the presence whose return rearranges the entire emotional weather of its day. Not a noun, a gravity. So you'll never actually know. You will never get to step inside another mind and see the version of yourself that lives there. The animal that has spent its whole life beside you is carrying a picture of you that you can't access and it can't describe. Maybe you're a parent it never outgrew. Maybe a clumsy giant cat. Maybe a god who works the can opener. The strangest part was never that animals don't know what we are. It's that they know us completely in ways we'll never be allowed to see. And we will go our entire lives without ever finding out what we were to them.